We are live.
Yay!
TGIF. Hope everyone's having a great day out there. Today we're going to be talking about how you can use neuroscience to crave exercise, featuring the lovely, the amazing, the incomparable. I don't even know if that's the right word. Coach Rachel.
Sure, I'll take it. I'll take it from you today. Yay!
I'm just going to tag that we are live here. So that way anyone that is interested in this topic can
It sounds so heady on a Friday to talk about neuroscience.
I mean,
but we're going there. We're going there, Ryan.
We got to do it. This is the name of the game. So, all right, starting off, you're claiming that it is possible for me to crave exercise. Is this just a clever title or is this fact?
It's science.
Okay.
It's a fact. It's a fact. I mean, it's not magic pixie dust. You have to do a little work, but it's a fact. It's a fact. And you can't, well, I can't dispute science because I'm not smart enough. So I go with the science.
So tell me a little bit about, all right, if we're going to use neuroscience to crave habits, or I'm sorry, to crave exercise, there's going to be a 4-step process, you said, to be able to start leveraging some of this neuroscience. What's that 4-step process to creating a habit, in this case, like exercise?
Yeah, so I use this acronym TOAC, which is not sexy at all, and I don't even know what it means.
I think it's sexy. I like it.
We're going with it again today. So TOAC helps me remember because my brain is not. I need to have an acronym. So
sure.
T, target. You have to have a goal. Like if you're gonna create a habit, you have to know what habit you want to create. So you have to pick something. Yes. So let's pick that you want to start exercising in the morning. That's going to be our habit. We want to get up and exercise before we go to work. So target. O, your opening move. So let's say that you do want to work out before you go to work. You're not just going to all of a sudden tomorrow wake up and be like, I've got an hour of workout in me. Let's go. Like you have to start small. Like, so we'll talk about the opening move. Anchor is the A. You have to tie it to something. So, and we can talk about what that might be, but working out in the morning, your anchor might be, you might put your sneakers right outside of your bed so that you have to trip over them before you go to the bathroom. So that, you have something, or that you're anchoring it to a habit that you already do. So you brush your teeth, you work out.
Yes.
So you have to anchor it to something. And then C, you have to celebrate. You have to give yourself a high five. You have to woohoo, like we do all the time here, but you have to celebrate yourself when you want to do the opening move. And then you also need to celebrate yourself when you get to that larger target. So 4, the target, the opening move, the anchor, and the celebration.
And you're touching upon something that I think is really important, that it's often easy to forget, right? It's this feedback loop. And I'm trying to actually find a photo that I can, I'm a big visual person, so I always like to pull up the photos.
Yeah. I do too. It helps to put it in my brain.
But as far as leveraging the neuroscience, those first 3 steps, of course, are, crucial to be able to get the habit going. You need, like you said, obviously you need to have a target. You need to have, what was it? T, toe, act, one small
move.
thing, right?
Yeah.
You got to start
small thing, whatever. Yeah.
You need the anchor. So it's like habit stacking. You need something that essentially is impossible to not do to an extent. Like, for example, if you want to, as we said, exercise or start running, it's like first thing in the morning, you trip over your shoes or they're already laid out. Or if you want to start reading, you have let's say a book on your bed, ready versus having to go get it. It has to be in line with the path of least resistance. That's a good one.
I mean, I've been known, believe me, to sleep in my workout clothes because I'm like, well, I can't deny it. Then they're already on. You might as well go. Might as well do it.
That's a good point. Yeah, the more that we can set ourselves up for just having it be natural, I think the better that we end up getting. So let me send this really quick.
So while you're doing that, I mean, you're right, Ryan. Okay. I think those first 3 things, those are the tactical things. I mean, those are the tactics. And you're right, then getting to, and you can talk about this as feedback loop, you do have to reward your behavior. You do have to celebrate or else you don't get back. Then you just stop, right? Then you don't get the full effect.
Yeah, and this is a little different than what we're talking about. This is just if we're thinking about this part, the reward behavior part. like we can do anything. But if we think about just how humans are designed to always move away from pain and go towards pleasure. That's it. So everyone wants to believe, and me included, that I'm a rational person and that, you know what, I think and I make the best decisions that are rational. But that is 100% not true. The fact of the matter is we make emotional decisions and we back them up with logic. So if we know that's true, instead of trying to fight against human nature and say, like, why can't I just willpower myself to get to my goal? Why can't I just like get myself there? Just go in line. It's kind of like if you have a river, if your goal is to move and you have a river that's going, we'll say a certain direction. If you're trying to go a certain distance, is it better to go against the current or go with the current? Go with the current, right? Don't try to recreate the wheel and like fight against human nature. So if we know that's the truth, human nature, we're always going to move away from pain and go towards pleasure, then we should be setting up this, we'll say this system to crave exercise in line with that. And of course, one of the ways we make it less painful is, you said, TOAC, right? What's that? Oh, one small thing. So for you, it's like, all right, or for anyone, if I make it small enough and the reward juicy enough, then I will just feel pulled towards that over time. It doesn't require willpower. And then you're saying too, there's another way that we can maximize pleasure even after the fact. How do you do that?
I mean, seriously. So the science backs up that celebration.
Yes.
Things happen in our body when we celebrate. So I think about celebration two different ways. I think about celebration, one, you need to celebrate right after the fact. So if you did the thing, you need to, and I stole this from Mel Robbins, but I use it every day. I look myself in the eye in the mirror and give myself a high five.
Love it.
All right. Because who else is going to do it? Maybe somebody else in your household will do it, but I just have a cat here, so Sam is not as great. My cat Sam, not as great at the high fives. But so I give myself a high five because I did the thing. I'm going to celebrate, or a little woohoo. I'm all about that too.
Sure.
But you also then need to celebrate when you get to the goal. So when you get actually to the T, so we're celebrating our opening move all the time. But when we get to the T, the target, then we need to celebrate that as well. And we need to celebrate, and we can do a whole other like chat about not using food to celebrate. So we need to pick something probably non-food.
Non-food rewards, yeah.
Rewards to celebrate. So we want to celebrate. And what happens when you celebrate? Well, often we celebrate with other people. So first, when you celebrate the rewards, you get to the reward, there's dopamine. That is like you cross the finish line. There's a stream of dopamine that goes through our bodies. That helps you feel good. If you celebrate with other people, you're also going to get a hit of serotonin because you have that connection with other people. And you have a whole bunch of endorphins because probably when you're with other people, there's some laughter going on as well. And that releases serotonin. So or that releases endorphins. So you have endorphins, you have serotonin, you have dopamine, you have this is science, all of this stuff happening in your body. Why wouldn't you want to do that again?
Yes.
Like, it's science. It's not willpower, like you said. It's science to say, because we crave pleasure.
Yes.
You just got a whole bunch of pleasure by celebrating the thing that you did.
Yes. Crucial. I think it
seems like a no-brainer, right? Because it is a no-brainer because we don't have to think about it. It is a no-brainer.
I think this is why, so of course you've worked with a lot of clients over the years, as have I. And when I've asked clients, like, hey, what made this work for you? Like, why did this work? Sometimes it's hard to even pin down exactly why. But when I say, well, what did you like? And they said, well, I like that every week when I talk to you, you're always so positive. You make me feel good. Magic formula. So it's like, think about it. How are we as human beings? We're generally self-critical. So it's like, all right, we set a goal, a weekly objective. Man, we only got 80% there. I failed. No, you got 80% there. How much would you have done if we never set the objective? Very small. So just by having sometimes that third party, or, in this case, a coach, or just somebody. It could be anybody, right? It could be, I mean, not your dog because they can't talk to you, but like anyone who's positive or supportive, in this case, a coach, if they can help redirect your thinking from I failed to actually this is fantastic and look at all you've done and look what you're learning, and hey, all we need to do is tweak this one little thing and you're 100% there. And it's like, oh, cool. And the reason that the coaches that are a part of the Art and Body Transformations team are all kind of like myself and Rachel, high energy, enthusiastic, positive, is because that's what we need more of. You don't need somebody that's coming on a weekly call saying, so what's your excuse this week? Like what the hell is that? Right. And unfortunately, that's what 95% of the coaching industry is. And I say that from 15 years plus experience personally, and also, unfortunately, being that coach at one time or another in the first few years of my journey, because I didn't understand. Where people really just human nature at all, but very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, and I think it goes back to that whole, again, it goes back to the science. So it's it's us as coaches or somebody else in your life, but us as coaches and helping you celebrate. So those weekly touch bases, yes, are maybe about redirecting and setting some goals for next week, but it really, really is all about celebrating. It's all about celebrating. Right. And that, again, is why I love my job, because I then get a whole big
rush celebrate all the time.
Dopamine and all the time, because I get to celebrate with you. And that is, again, one of the best parts of my job. So I love that. So
I couldn't agree more. Yeah. If I've ever had, I mean, this goes back even when I owned my gyms and was like an in-person trainer. And it'd be the same thing. No matter if I'm having a poor day or if I, not feeling great, it's like, when you get on a call with someone or you show up, it's like by helping somebody else, by celebrating with them, you feel better too. So it's like you're just high all the time. You're just riding the high.
Some days, like my job is just to be happy. Yes, I love
hilarious. No, that's great. I mean, not to be discounted too. I think it's interesting too because, the coaching space is so it's so wide, meaning like you can have some coaches that, have a lot of experience, know what they're talking about. And you can have some that have no experience, that have no idea what you're talking about. You can have some coaches that are great, that don't have a formal education. You have some coaches that are great, that have a formal education. Like for you, you have your master's in kinesiology. And was it education?
And education. I have two. I'm a weird girl that went to school all the time. So yeah, master's degree in education and in kinesiology. Right. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, you have learned, like you are, I would say the perfect combination of like traditional education plus, experience. Like you've been a coach for a long time, and, you actually have the trifecta, if I may, where not only do you have traditional education, where like, yes, you have your master's degree, you obviously are studious, you know what you're doing, you're very highly intelligent, but also you have the experience of working with so many people over the years, hundreds of people, but also yourself, right? Yeah. Where like, that is something I will never have, which is why I believe you're a better coach than me for our clients, which is why, you're here because like you're a woman, you're in your
50s. I can 40s? Say it. I'm almost 50s. I'm almost 52. 50s. Almost 52. Yes.
Right. You've been through and are going through the same challenges that a lot of our RNs have. So it's like you're the trifecta. Who's better to help, right? So it's good stuff. I love it. I think this is great. I think the more that we can, the more that as I think all of us can just focus on not fighting against the current, and we can focus on instead moving forward with, I guess you'd say in alignment with the stream or the current or human nature. I think will set us up more for success. So
I agree. I mean, going with the flow and being, and sometimes it's just surrendering into the process. But again, I will always go back to that I don't want to forget about the power of the celebration. I mean, I think especially in the United States, probably in other cultures too, but especially here, we're so quick to move on to the next thing. Like,
Yes.
okay, check, I did it. Let's move on. So I just want to encourage, I think that's one of my purposes in life, is just to encourage people to at least take some moments, or more than a moment, to really celebrate. And I always thought it was just for the funsies part of it, but there's science that backs that up. So I'm going with the science.
Of course. That's awesome. I love it. All good stuff. This is fantastic. If you guys are watching this on recording or live here, feel free to drop a comment for Coach Rachel as well. She'll be able to come back and answer any questions if you're not here on the live. And, it's our mission to impact 100,000 registered nurses and healthcare workers. It's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen in the next few. It's probably going to be further than that. But so far in this group, 7,400 RNs, which is crazy to think about, such a big number. But we're here to serve you. If you need absolutely anything, reach out to us, drop a comment, and we'll keep serving. Is there anything else that you want to add to this, Rachel?
I don't think right now. Just I'm excited to be here, and I just love my job, and I love what we're doing here. So
and thanks
for creating this, and and we have a great team. So I'm just know.
I'll brag on you a little bit too. 4.8 out of 5 client satisfaction. That's insane. So for those of you watching that don't know, we poll our clients every month. We're actually about to send another one out this month. And right now, Rachel has a 4.8 out of 5 client satisfaction. That's insane. That's really high.
I love it. Because I love what I do, and I love all of the clients. Yeah. It's just great. It's my absolute, and I don't say this lightly, it's my absolute pleasure to get on calls with people every day. So
love it. Well, you're awesome. Happy you're here. And I'll drop a link somewhere if you're interested in working with us, Coach Rachel, all that good stuff. And you can see if we have spots. Cool. Perfect. Talk to you soon. Bye.